Hello and welcome back to the Calculator Review hosted on Caliquin.com. Today I am reviewing the Franklin Merriam-Webster's Dictionary and Thesaurus. Now I know what you're thinking, that's not a calculator, that's a dictionary and thesaurus. Well, it's actually a lot more than just those two things. And yes, a calculator is one of them. So this takes two AAA batteries. One, there's two, and take note of this empty slot here because it's going to come back in a very cool way. So, it's turned on and it opens up immediately to the dictionary, but we'll start with the home screen. So this shows dictionary thesaurus, there's a little learning thingy, then some games, a word list, and settings or tools. So check out the settings first. We can hopefully increase the contrast and make this appear a little bit better on the screen. And let's also increase the type size. So, going back to the menu. So, starting out with the dictionary, let's look up the word calculator. So this then provides, it's supposed to be the dictionary definition of it, but oddly enough, this actually doesn't have the word calculator in the dictionary, but it does have it in the thesaurus. So I find that a little odd, especially considering this actually does have a calculator in it. So, yeah, so you can look up words with the dictionary or the thesaurus if you want to find alternate definitions, or alternate words that mean the same thing, or roughly the same thing. It's also got a series of games. Here you can see Hangman, anagrams, word train, word builder, and some game called Jumble. The only game that's really worth playing is Hangman, and it plays exactly as you would expect. Sorry, I need to hold this up a little better for visibility. So, playing a game of Hangman, press enter, and start with the letter E, and that is in there. S is not. Get a little head thing. T, I believe, is another common one. O. Let's see, what do we have? R. Sorry, it's really hard to see this with the light. Okay. I angle it. Shows up a little better. Let's see. D? No, that was a terrible choice. A. Oh, I'm probably gonna lose this, but that's okay. H. I want to say it's toaster, but oh. C-O. Okay, well, that. I'm just throwing some other. Oh, counter. Huh. Bullseye. So, yeah, you get a neat little graphic there. So, yeah, it's got Hangman built into it. The other games, like I said, are really not very interesting. I could probably show them in another video if enough people ask for it. So then there's some learning exercises. It's got a word list, spelling bee, flashcards, and SAT word list. Again, I haven't really messed with these because I just don't care. So anyway, going back to the menu and pressing the org button will bring you to a clock. And this is interesting because it shows the year 2002, so it's pretty safe to say this device came out in around 2002. I'll just get straight to the point. The calculator button brings you to a screen that is aptly a calculator. So you can select some numbers, 3664. We'll do times, 88, enter, and then you get your answer. So it's a pretty basic calculator. If you look closely, and you'll probably be able to see these a lot better in the images that I'll provide. There are a bunch of other functions, including square root, square, the percentage, and it even has memory functions. So all in all, it's a pretty decent calculator. It also has conversion applications, so you can convert temperatures, weights, liquids, lengths, and then there's an exchange rate, which all this does is you just input whatever the exchange rate is, and all it's going to do is multiply that by whatever amount you put in, and that'll give you your answer. It's very basic. And finally, there's a data bank that, honestly, I don't really know what to do with. You can add friends' names and numbers and addresses. It's pretty bare bones. Like, there's no email option, no anything else, just that. And you can protect it with a password. So anyway, that's the device itself. It's not bad. It's actually pretty cool. Like, I like the idea of an all-in-one device, but it actually gets cooler because, as I mentioned earlier, there's this empty back piece. And what this allows is additional software to be installed. The only one that I have is the Concise Columbia Encyclopedia. So let's get this plugged in. There are others. There are actually some games. There are some ebooks. I haven't really looked into them, and they're fairly expensive, so I'm not all that interested in getting them. So going back to pressing the card button, you can switch over to the Encyclopedia, and this opens up a whole new range of things you can do. So it's got a couple built-in books. You can just like read through the help or the encyclopedia itself page by page, but honestly I don't know why you'd want to do that. So let's search something, and what better to look up than a calculator? Oh, and look at this, calculator electronic, first option. Pressing enter, and then you get an encyclopedia entry for the calculator. I don't know how many entries are in this. There's really no simple way of finding that out. But it's really cool that it's got these small cartridges. They're about the size of a Game Boy Advance cartridge, and they're held in really snugly. I didn't even realize that this was separate from the device for the longest time. In fact, this is the second time I've created a video review for this device. The first time I really didn't know how to work with that, and now that I do, it's pretty cool. But all in all, it's really neat. It's an all-in-one handheld device. It's very small. Does basically anything you'd want with a device of this size. And yeah, so getting to the calculator is nice and simple. Getting to the data bank is easy. I haven't set the time on this because, like I've said with other devices, I keep the batteries out to prevent corrosion. So this is going to perpetually say 2002 because shortly after I finish this review, I'm going to take the batteries out and add this to my collection display. So yeah, this is the Franklin Merriam-Webster's Dictionary Thesaurus. It's a pretty powerful device. Definitely something you'd want to take with you. The only downside is that it doesn't have a solar option, which I think would have taken this to a whole new level. The fact that it runs on AAA batteries is a little unfortunate because I really do think a solar device like this could be absolutely outstanding and incredibly useful, especially considering it's got games built in, and I'd love to see more games. I did look up other cartridges that are available, and I think I saw 4 or 5. There could be a lot more, I don't know. They aren't exactly easy to get anymore, because this device has been not only discontinued, but replaced by many, many other Franklin devices. But I found this in a bag with a bunch of other calculators at Goodwill for really cheap. It was like $1.50 for all of them. Had no idea what I was getting myself into upon getting this, but I'm really, really excited to add this to the collection. Anyway, thank you for watching.